So we were talking about energy ultimately, and then my question to you is, what are some of the other ways we get energy? And then you were going into breath, I believe.
Yeah, breath and more specifically oxygen. So basically what I was saying is as you breathe less, you actually bring more oxygen to the tissues. People have this idea that you got to take big inhales and exhales, but
Whoa, whoa,
really
whoa,
all
whoa,
that
whoa, whoa,
does.
whoa. We got to slow that down, bro. You just confused a lot of people, and people are like, what did he just say? Less, more,
Yup,
more, less? What? Break that down a little
yup.
bit, man.
Yep, most definitely. So the idea here is the Bohr effect. If you studied biology or chemistry in college, you'll know all about this, but you'll have no practical application of it. Funny enough, that was me when I was studying in biochemistry class. I was like, the Bohr effect, like, what the hell is this? Why am I doing this? Oh, pH turns this way because carbon dioxide levels are here. Oxygen doesn't diffuse from the tissues when carbon dioxide isn't at this level. So now I have the
Mm,
practical application of it. It's essentially the idea that when your carbon dioxide levels are at a certain point, then oxygen will offload from your blood into your working tissues more efficiently. So whether that's your brain, your digestive organs, your muscles, your heart, your lungs, whatever it is, when you breathe at this lesser rate and volume, you're actually going to be giving more oxygen to your tissues. And so that speaks on what just one of the other ways that we could get more energy is by learning how to breathe properly.
bro, I'm sure we're going to have to break this down even more. If you're watching this and you want us to go, or you want Air Duvier to go deeper into the Bohr effect and how it applies to getting more energy through oxygen, and then doing more with less, essentially. Let us know, and we'll do another live where we chat about it and go a little bit deeper. But now today we're talking about energy specifically, so we're gonna move on to another way to get energy. What else you got for us, bro?
Sunlight.
Oh,
And the funny thing is the way that society is set up with the sunscreen and all this shade, the umbrellas. It's like people are hiding from sun these days. People don't
literally.
understand. People are hiding from the sun and they don't understand the powers, the energy that the sun can provide us with. And I think the problem is partly diet. I mean, I want to hear your take on this in terms of nutrition, but I know that there's certain compounds within food that protect us from the quote unquote damage that the sun is supposed to cause to us. What's your take on that?
That's interesting. I'm not gonna lie. That's not something I've dove into specifically. But now that you mention it, I'm gonna take a look as to specifically what that is. But what I do want to speak to is this idea of hiding from the sun, and where do we get all that, right? We got two stories. Well, one from my folks, my people, and then one from other folks, right? First and foremost, one being well, my folks, my people, right? Real, the darker the roots, right? Um, we've been tricked. We've been lied to. We've been bamboozled. We've been tricked. I can't tell you how popular for a period of time skin bleaching was or is. I don't know if people still do that stuff or not, right? And my people, man. And we don't realize we've got the best of the best apparatus in terms of the skin as to utilize energy from the sun, and we're running away from it. Why? Because we've been lied to, completely lied to. And I'm not even gonna lie, I fell victim to this, right? I'm not saying, listen, don't get me wrong, this ain't a conversation about somebody being better than another person. This is just facts as to how we utilize energy and health. That's all we're talking about here. Okay, don't try to utilize this to create any division here. Okay, don't do that now. But the truth of the matter is, we've been lied to in that like we need to be lighter for some reason. And it doesn't align with nature. It doesn't align with God. Go ahead, bro. You know you got something itching.
I just want to give a little anecdote from my life on this
Oof.
very topic.
Yes.
So growing up, I used to try my best to stay out of the sun because it got to a certain point where I was like, damn, I don't want to get darker. Like, why would I stay in the sun and get my skin darker? And all my friends, a big circle of people, not only my friends, people in my school, people in my community, it was a thing among black men like me to stay out of the sun because, oh, you're gonna get darker, you're gonna get like you're gonna get shadow dark if you stay out there in the sun. And it's these kinds of thought patterns that I don't know who brought them up. I don't know if it was within the community, outside of the community, probably a little bit of both, that are just
Mm.
circulated within people, within our mindsets, within our belief systems. And then we listen to it, and it really affects our lifestyles and our behavior. It's wild.
It's insane, man. But the thing is, when you start to draw and see the patterns, it's actually not that crazy. It's right in line with things that are moving us away from source, with things that are moving us away from health, true health, with things that are moving us away from reliance on Mother Earth and whatever else natural phenomenon rather than relying on man-made goods, right? Because we tell you the sun, being darker is not good for you, or is not whatever they tell us. And then they encourage us to what? To use sunscreen, to use bro, I can't tell you how many times I got just crushed in school when I first moved to the US because I was darker than this, right? I was outside more.
Yeah.
And the worst, white people didn't say anything. It was folks that looked like me. It was folks
Exactly.
that looked like me.
Exactly.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And that's why I look left and I look right. So we've been tricked on the deepest level. Again, I'm not preaching division here, guys. I'm really not. I'm what I am shedding light on, ha ha ha. What I am shedding light on is that we've been lied to, right? Even the lightest of the light don't need no sunscreen, bro. It's called progressive overload. No, you cannot go from inside to outside 5 hours in the sun and think you're gonna be okay. No, it don't work like that. 15 minutes, 10 minutes at a time,
Adaptation, man.
increasing, right? Bam. That's how we get there,
Hmm.
guys. That's how we get there. That's why when you live in Hawaii for a year, right, you change. But if you
Hmm.
live there for generations, you change even more. So I just think, we've been, man, we could probably talk about this alone but I want to share my other story from the other perspective as well. I
Yeah.
used
Yeah.
to teach English to kids from all over the world. They would come during the summer, and I would teach them English from all over Africa, all over the quote unquote Middle East. But the interesting one is from I used to have a lot of kids from Taiwan, a lot of kids from Taiwan and parts of China, mainland China, and it was twofold. The boys were super excited about me and my skin and like just like really into it, like bro, and they were into the culture aspect of it, but also
Yeah.
just like me as a specimen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They were just mind blown, like man, like just trying to touch me and like do all this stuff. They were just baffled. They were just like,
Yeah.
but it was in like, oh, this is cool way,
Right. Right.
right? The girls were literally consistently under umbrellas, right? And they were actually fearful of, not even fearful, they were like inquisitive, but also they didn't want this because it wasn't
Right.
in their culture, it wasn't something that is desirable,
Right.
right?
Right.
And it was mind-boggling. And guys, I'm not talking about necessarily just skin color here. I'm talking as it relates to energy,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
As it relates to energy. So it's like, where do these narratives come? Where we know the sun is a great source of energy for us. Why do these narratives exist? I don't know the answer. I just ask the questions. Okay.
Part of it is follow the money, as you would say, bro. These sunscreen companies are dying for us to be repeat buyers. So they will do anything to tell us, oh, you got to put this stuff on your body, or you will have this disease, or you will have this problem in within your body. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. And
Yeah.
speaking on going back to what I was saying about how to protect yourself from the sun naturally with what you consume, it's not only these plant compounds in the food, it's also hydration. You see these
Yeah.
people like Florida. I'm sure you have some of these in California, but Florida is awful with these people who get this rubbery ass skin that gets mad dry and
Mm,
tan. That's simply because they're not hydrated. It's dry. It's not healthy skin, and you make your skin healthy not by staying out of the sun, but by what you consume and how you treat your body.
yep. Yep. And bro, you know, what's interesting is I don't even think we need a. Everybody wants like, you know, what specific juice does this? What specific this does this? Drink all of them.
All of
Just
them.
drink all of them.
Yeah.
Just drink all of them. They're all good,
Yeah.
right? Just eat all of them. Like, you know,
Yeah.
not the ones, not the poisonous ones, right? Right? Don't do that. That's not what I'm talking about. Don't be silly, okay? But like, listen, you don't need to know that cherry combined with blueberry. It's interesting, got it. But like, let's start by getting you just simply consuming some, and then we'll talk about the specific later. I can't tell you how many people ask me, well, the specifics. All right, bro, you haven't even had a cup of juice, period. Why in God's green earth are we talking about specifics of what gives your big toe the shape that you want?
And then the next level after just drink some, I think is drink what's available to you in your area and in that season. Because for instance, what we're talking about right now in terms of protecting your body from the sunlight, there are plant compounds within that mango that's producing fruit within that season, within the summer, that are meant to protect you from the sun because the sun is hotter at that time when it's mango season.
Look at that. Look at that. Guys, we can simplify this stuff. You could really, really, really simplify this stuff. Like you don't need to just start and if you want to dive into the specific, go for it. But like what Duvier just mentioned, eat in season fruits. It's
You don't
in
need to
season
study
for a
that.
reason.
Yeah. You
But
don't need
people
to
want the
study
pure
it.
reviewed articles.
You don't need to complexify it like, and that's the thing with Western science, with Western studies. Like it's yeah, let's make this as complicated as possible so nobody except the people who wrote it can understand it, or the people who go study for 8 years in a
Yeah,
higher
yeah,
education institute can
yeah,
understand it. It's
yeah,
like it's jargon that's not meant to help people. It's again, follow the money. Like
yeah, yeah.
all these research
Jargon
studies are backed.
to absolutely jargon to camouflage the truth, the simple truth. I was chatting with D Foss on
He told me.
Sunday.
He
Yeah,
told me,
great
yeah.
conversation.
I
Great
saw him right
conversation.
after.
And he was he mentioned that doctors, well, primary care doctors go to school for how long, and they get a total of like 20 hours of nutritional education. That's criminal. That's
That's
criminal. That's criminal.
that's wild.
Right. That's criminal. And even the nutritional education that they do get, bro. I've literally met nutritionists that like, how are you a nutritionist?
Yeah.
Like, do you just ignore all of your own advice? How's that possible? See, people will go to, and we're talking about energy today, but it's important that we understand these patterns so we can start to break them, right? People will be quick to go to a doctor that doesn't follow their own advice, but yet will hold a personal trainer or a coach or whatever to an absurd like level of accountability. But even the
It's
accountability,
in its mindset, its beliefs that are ingrained within them.
yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. That's it. We got like I said, you gotta cut the noise, follow the money to understand, cut the noise, simplify it, follow 20% of things that give you 80% of the results, and it's not that crazy. It's not that crazy at all. 20% of things that give you 80% of your results. And you know what? The other 20%, all right, we'll play with that. We'll play with that a little bit. Right? We'll
Because it's
play with that a
fun.
little bit. Yeah, let's play with that a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
My nutritional principles have actually loosened up quite a bit because I realized that it's so much more important that we're doing that 20% that gets us. If you're not doing that, why are we talking about the specifics? Why are we talking about this one fruit? Shout out YouTube infomercials or whatever. Oh, I know there's one ingredient that this ingredient will make your dingaling big as a cucumber and will also give you riches forever. Criminal
It's
activities are
it's
taking place over
crazy,
there.
bro.
Oh my gosh. All
Yo,
right.
while we're on the topic, well, actually moving us along a little bit, let's talk about water. Let's talk about
Mm.
how water pertains to energy because I don't think people often see water as bringing us energy. They just see, oh, it's something the body needs, hydration. But what is water really doing? I want to hear your take on that because I know you're the water guru right here, the
Yeah.
liquid guru.
Liquid guru, yeah. Oh man, guru is such a word that makes me so uncomfortable because I realize I don't know anything. I'm just a
Facts,
student of the game. Um,
facts.
listen, I think an easy way to paint a quick picture here is like we are we are electric beings, right? Um, what conducts electricity better than water? That's not metal, right?
What conducts water,
how
electricity?
how how well does, let me put it another way, how well does water combine, like if you put electric and into a bathtub full of water, what's going to happen?
Electrocution. It's going,
Nothing good. Nothing good.
yeah,
Nothing good.
yeah.
So when we gotta, when we combine those two facts, we're electric beings. We're also like 70 something, whatever percentage you want to put it to it, water. And a lot of our issues arise at a lack of, all muscular movements are essentially electric reactions that are taking place, right? Whether it's an ADP turning to ATP and back and forth, like
Mm-hmm.
those are electrical reactions, right? That are taking
Mm-hmm.
place. Okay. So it only, hey, what's up, Dougal? What's up, my guy? Hey, Payne, Elijah, young baller. I see you. Hey, that's my brother right there. Two
Hey, what's
brothers.
good, Elijah?
One blood, one by choice. um, he's about to get his skills up here a little bit. We gotta get him in a training camp. Yo, we should first, let me not get too far off topic here, but we definitely need to run some training camps for the youths, man, during the
Oh,
summer. I think it'll be nutrition and
I'm already
movement. Oh man,
I'm already collecting data, bro. I told you I'm coaching at my old high school, coaching track in
no,
my
you
old
didn't
high
tell
school.
me that. That's
Oh
dope.
yeah, yeah. I started yesterday, so I'm working with the youth, collecting all this data for us.
That's exciting, man.
Yes,
That's like,
sir.
I realize that's like a place I want to be in because like I really appreciate working with the youth, man. They like, they're more receptive. They're ready for what it is, you know?
Yeah, yeah. They look at me a little weird when I'm telling them to hold their nose while they're doing sprints or to just bring their awareness into their tissues and do all these different mobility exercises, but they'll do them. And then, like, when I just honestly, like, when I just speak to them like I'm an equal rather than how some of the other coaches speak to them, yelling at them or trying to be above them, they're way more receptive to what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's a lot more powerful when I'm speaking to them at their level is
right.
something that I've noticed, and I think that's just how you got to treat everybody. Like whether they're homeless person on the street, a little kid, a millionaire, a janitor, like you're talking to everybody the same. I think that's what that comes down to. But getting back to energy
Oh yeah. This is
and
energy too,
water,
guys.
how water pertains.
I would encourage everybody to watch this YouTube video that's gonna break down things a lot more than I will right now. Called Your Brain on Water. Just
I'll
search
write
Your
that in the
Brain on
chat.
Water. Yeah, Your Brain on Water. And check that out. Just like your food will help you do the three things of um, nourish, eliminate, and recover, water does the same thing. Water does the same thing, but like with less of a cost, right? Of breaking that down. And when you're drinking living water, you're getting all of the same things, that is necessary for you to function as an electric being at a very high level without the cost, right? If there's individuals that can live on breath, then there's individuals that can live on breath and water. But not all water is the same. I want to really beat that home, because a lot of folks are going to go and they're going to, oh yeah, I drink water. It's not about, one, not all water is the same quality of water, right? You really got to check your quality of water. If you're drinking city tap water, you need to look that up. You need to Google that and look up what you're drinking.
Not to tell y'all what to do, but just stop that. Don't even research it. Just stop that.
Cut it out. Cut it out right now. And bottle, right? You cannot bottle living water, just like you can't bottle or you can't shelf living food for too long, right? Unless you process it. Now, there's good applications of processing, like juicing. You're processing food when you juice, right? There's good applications of processing, but there's also a lot of bad applications of processing that takes place, and that allows us to keep food on the shelf for however long we're keeping on the shelf. It's no longer living at that point, right? So a few things to look at there. Then bottled water, you really got to look at like the leaching of all of these chemicals into your water. Now, this is my general rule of water, kind of like I give people out, is first and foremost, if the best you can do is start with distilled water, like the distilled gallon waters that you can get. If that's the best you can do, that's, it's better than what we're getting from the city, for sure. Distilled, at least we know it's clean.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
I've been getting this actually a lot. What's the difference between distilled and spring, in your opinion? Spring, I'll put that in quotation marks.
Yeah. Guys, I'm a student in the game. I'm no expert. So I always give you a reference where you can go check. This book breaks it down. The choice is clear.
The choice is clear.
Yeah, this book breaks down the difference between spring water and distilled water. We hardly ever get true spring water. Unless you live in some bizarre, not bizarre, I'm sorry, that's not bizarre at all. Unless you are blessed enough to live in paradise. Yeah. You hardly ever get true spring water. There's tons of, and should we put that in the chat? There's tons of
I'll put that.
Sediments and things that build up in spring water that if you don't go through the process of distilling it, you're taking all that stuff in, right? So ideally, the idea with spring water is that you're getting all your minerals, but you might literally be getting minerals like rocks. Like you might literally be getting all of that trash in there as well, because we no longer live in an ideal climate, most of us. So there's a lot of differences. Distilled is it's been processed to be pure. It's pure
because water. It's evaporated. It's evaporated.
Correct.
And then
there's a couple processes. Yes, that's one process. Okay. And reverse osmosis, I believe, also gives you that. Please check me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong on this. But again, check out the book yourself. Go to the source. Check it out yourself. Don't take my word for it. Read in Rainbow. All right, I'm done. Y'all might be too young for Reading Rainbow, but you should check that shit out still.
Nah, I'm familiar.
But distilled water is simply pure water. The issue with distilled water is that it's also dead water. It hasn't been alkalinized.
Right.
And you can go through a process of doing that, which is essentially adding, not just is it clean, but it also adding the living aspect of it back,
electrolyzing it. And correct. Is that the same? Okay.
Yeah. And there's a big difference, guys. Like you can literally feel the difference. So I would highly encourage you guys. For me personally, I invested in a Kangen water machine for that purpose specifically. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. Butterfly in the sky. I don't know what that means, but do you know what that means?
Nah,
wait,
but
that's Reading Rainbow.
Oh,
Ah, shout out Miles,
facts.
bro. Hell yeah.
Miles is a tough alum. I played basketball with him.
Get out of here, bro. Nice to meet you, fellow Jumbo.
Yeah.
Blessings. That's dope. Um, okay. So in the interest of time, we'll continue this conversation next time in terms of energy, water, sunlight, and breath. We've covered those three so far. Water, sunlight, breath. Water, sunlight, breath. We'll hit the others. We haven't even gotten to food, like what we call food yet. We haven't even gotten to solid consumption of matter yet, consumption of solid matter yet. So lots of ways to get energy before you get to the point of consuming solid foods.
Mm-hmm.
Lots
Mm-hmm.
of ways. And if ultimately consumption is about energy, let's consider, are we using all the golf clubs in the bag? Or are we just reaching
Mm-hmm.
straight for the driver, which is solid foods all the time and just whop? I think we can leave on that question right there.
And and not to even mention cultivating energy through intention, through
Mm.
consciousness. So this is a practice that uh, traditional Chinese medicine, different martial arts in the East, Qigong, Tai Chi, they've known this for years. You can actually pool your consciousness within your body to, and I know that sounds really far off to some of you, but I've literally practiced this and it's no joke. By literally bringing your attention to a certain point in your body, you can feel energized. And it really makes sense, like if you want to speak about it in Western terms, because you're opening up all these channels within your body, blood vessels, the nerve endings, the lymphatic vessels that drain waste through your body. You're opening them all up when you bring your awareness to a certain spot. So your posture just opens up, your body kind of creates more space within it, so it's more expansive. And in that way, the function is just more smooth. It's smoother.
It's a beautiful thing, man. I'm excited to continue just to grow just because I realize how much more is out there, man. I haven't even begun to truly dive into that stuff at all, like not at any meaningful level, really. So I'm hyped that guys, there's so much stuff out there. Um, but we're just using the driver where we're literally just grabbing the biggest tool we can find and whack, whack, whack. And there's a cost. There's a cost to that. The cost is what we see out here. The cost is all the dis-ease we see. The cost is all the social anxiety we see. All of that, literally all under the umbrella of dis-ease. We're not at ease. We're not at peace. We're not at harmony. We're not in
Yeah.
harmony with ourselves, with nature, with each other. We're not in harmony.
Yeah. And this whole energy concept, it really comes down to, why do we want energy? Who cares about energy? Everybody should, because it's all about living life at a deeper level. It's about having a richer, fuller experience of life. How do you do that? By optimizing the function of your body. Kabi's access point is nutrition. My access point is movement. Those aren't the only two. We just named you different areas that you could tackle your energy levels, that you could tackle the function of your body from. We're just two.
1,000. 1,000, 1,000. And that doesn't mean we don't practice the others, guys. Not going. Wait, what? It just means we only teach. Well, I only mostly focus on coaching those two. Um, but guys, I please drop some questions. We're gonna post this wherever we post it, on Air Duvier's page on at Cut the Noise. We both have programs running right now. I got myself a 10-day solid food vacation juice feast where I teach individuals not just the what to consumption for energy, but the how, which is even more important at times, right? What you got going on, brother?
Yes, sir. 12-week roadmap to transforming your training from the inside out. So we're talking about stress recovery management. We're talking about treating movement as a skill. And we're talking about finding fulfillment and enjoyment in your training again. And all these three things will not only propel you towards your goals, but they're going to allow you to have fun again when you train. So that's what we're
Mm.
taking care of on the lines of movement, meditation, breath, and that's what it's all about for me.
Yes, sir. So tap in with us. We're here for you guys. We're here to build community of like-minded individuals and individuals who want to get in there, man. We're real open individuals, and we're looking to connect with just more and more and more people that are on this wave or want to be on this wave. Whether you're ahead of us on the journey, whether you're the same level in terms of where we are, or whether you're behind us and you wanna expand and grow, we're here for all of it. So definitely tap in. Obviously, tap in on our page if you're seeing this on Instagram. If you're seeing this anywhere else, tap in some way, somehow. We got you. Okay, we got you.
Tap in
Okay,
some
we
way.
got
You'll find this if
you.
you really want to. That, and like Kobi said, it doesn't matter what level you're at. The commonality is that you want to grow. You want to actualize yourself. You want to step into those shoes of your real potential.
That's
So
it.
let's get it. Let's
That's it.
support each other in that. Let's provide value for each other. Share that value. Share our skills, and really just help each other evolve in all these different ways.
Excited, man. Brother, thank you. It's always a pleasure to link up with you and talk about this stuff and to share with the people what we got going on and how we're available and ready to serve. That's really what we're here to do, is to serve. So
Yes, sir.
till next time, see you next Tuesday. You'll see the time. We'll post it up. We got to do a better job of promoting this before we just hop on.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, people been finding their way though, I will say. So
Organic. That's
thank
how
you,
we do it.
everybody.
Authentic.
Thank you, our organic fans, for joining. Let's connect.
Yes, sir. All right, brother.
All right, peace.